and had a very interesting life. I'd like to just tell you briefly about his life so that you may be able to better appreciate his poetic expressions. His mother and father were both from wealthy families, and together they had a large estate in a village, relatively small village in eastern India. So he grew up in prosperity and plenty. However, as would happen at that time, there was a cholera epidemic that killed almost everybody in his family. In the course of that epidemic, his family also lost his wealth. So he went from being a privileged young man to all of a sudden being the breadwinner for a widowed elderly mother and a young wife and child. So he's had to forego his more advanced education at the time and enter the workforce. He took various entry-level jobs, and through his ability gradually worked up and up the hierarchy in the British Raj, the government of India at that time, until he got to the point where he was at the top level any Indian could hold as a magistrate. A magistrate is a combination of judge and mayor. So he was the magistrate of Jagannath Puri, the holy city in eastern India. In the course of that, he had a large family, 13 children, and he also went through a spiritual journey. After his devastating loss as a young man, he began to doubt the faith of his family and explored theosophy and Christianity and other popular alternative faiths of the day. As a very philosophical person, he delved into these things very deeply, but was not finding a satisfactory answer until he discovered the Gaudiya Vaishnava teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At that time, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya had become very obscured, and people who followed them were considered to be lower class. But when he studied what Chaitanya taught, the philosophy answered his intense questions about spiritual life. And from that point on, in his late 20s, early 30s, he became a great exponent of Chaitanya Vaishnavism. So at that time, Chaitanya Vaishnavism was small, obscure. By his influence, it became very widespread in eastern India. And he envisioned that it could be relevant to people all over the world, not just in India. So in 1896, he sent a copy of an English book, The Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. It's another sunny day in Toronto. He sent this book to McGill University, which is Montreal, is it? Montreal, yes. The first English explanation of Chaitanya Vaishnavism ever. So he wrote, in addition to being a magistrate and presiding over court and administrative duties and raising his large family, he wrote 100 books in his lifetime. He passed away in around 1914, it was. So in these books, he explained the philosophy of Chaitanya in very simple ways. So these beautiful books, mostly in Bengali, many of them were poems and bhajans and hymn songs, but they have been kind of obscured in a way in the sense that the only translations we have had of them are prose that kind of explain in an academic, pedantic way what he was saying. And that's good, but it doesn't have the immediacy of actually singing it. So what my associates and I have tried to do is put these songs into English equivalents with accurate meanings and similar meters and rhymes so that we English-speaking, or I should say we non-Bengali speaking people can also enter into the deep, incredible devotional moods that he expressed. So tonight I'm going to ask if you could join me in this interactive presentation and singing two of his famous bhajans. And Devanshi is going to accompany us on mridanga. Do we have a kartal player? Okay. You can play cut time like Damodarastikam like that. Oh. No. Two. You can play. Okay. No problem. So we have a shaka now as our musical accompaniment. And we'll do our best to... I think I'll be all right. The clouds will be coming any minute now, right? But fine. Okay, so the words will all be here, and we'll sing these responsively. First in the Bengali, and then in English. So please sing along in response, all right? Jai Gora Madhusware Jai Lord Gauranga sweetly sings from Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gora Madhusware Jai Grihe Tako Vane Tako Sadahari Bole Dako Grihe Take Vane Tako Sadahari Bole Dako Sukhe Dukhe Bulo Nare Vadane Hare Nam Bolo Re Jai Gora Madhusware as householders or as sannyas, while happy or when feeling cross, as householders or as sannyas, while happy or feeling cross. Please be sure your mouth never stops saying Hare Nama every day. Hare Nama every day. Jai Gora Madhusware Maya chale buddha hoye acho miche hajaloye Ekona Chaitanya Peye Radha Madhav Nam Bolo Re Jai Gora Madhusware Maya's network has you ensnared. in lifetimes of useless despair. Chant the name Radha Madhava, now your consciousness is awake. Chant. Jai Gora Madhusware. Jivana hoilo sesham Nabajile Rishikesha. Bhakti Vinoda Upadashekvarna Rase Matore. Jai Gora Madhusware. At any time death may come, your bhakti has never begun. Bhakti Vinoda says, just once please get high, chanting Nama Rase. High tasting Nama Rase. Jai Gora Madhusware. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gora Madhusware. Jai Gora Madhusware. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. All right, any reflections on this bhajan? This is about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message, chanting the holy name. It's funny to me, as he's singing very sweetly, and then he says, "You've just wasted your life." Very sweetly he said, "Hey, you're wasting your life without the holy name." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught this Maha Mantra as the means of deliverance in the present age of Kali. And he was a great social reformer because he let this Maha Mantra be available to everybody, regardless of their background, whether they were Hindu, Muslim, Brahmins, Shudras. It made no difference. Everybody is a spirit soul. And he taught Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kabunoi, Shravanade Sudhi Chite Kare Udoi. The love of Krishna is dormant in everybody's heart. And by this process of chanting, it is awakened. We don't have to have it introduced by an outside source. It is already there. We just need to stimulate it. This is why he said, just make sure your mouth never stops chanting Hari Nama every day. Bhaktivinoda Thakur took that a step farther. In fact, he was really fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's vision. Everyone in the universe could chant. It's not difficult. But it was Bhaktivinoda Thakur who first envisioned the day when Vaishnavas from Europe and Russia and China and America, as well as India, would be dancing around the Yoga Pith, the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, chanting Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. So today, just near that place in Mayapur, West Bengal, near the temple that Bhaktivinoda himself built at the birth site of Lord Chaitanya, there's this beautiful, magnificent temple of Vedic planetarium, which is preparing to introduce Krishna consciousness scientifically and theologically, spiritually, to people from all over the world. And devotees, again, from all over the world have contributed to make this incredible building a possibility, a reality, I should say. So, okay, any other comments on this? Vishaka?
The bhajan is emphasizing on chanting the holy name. The bhajan is emphasizing on chanting the holy name, but I mean, in states as well. But if I think about the lifestyle of an average person living in Toronto, it's all about paying bills, going to work. So there are many reasons to not chant and focus on just working. How can one motivate themselves to chant?
How can one motivate oneself to chant when there are so many demands of our lives?
Yes.
Our careers, our families,
Yeah.
paying the bills.
Yes.
Right, the idea of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nasmarane Nakala, there's no hard and fast rules for chanting. Because that taste for chanting is dormant in the heart, if we practice it, it will, first of all, automatically carry over to our day. Just like during the COVID pandemic, you would get a vaccination if you chose to do so. No controversy here. But if you got vaccinated, the idea was then you could go out and not be afraid of being exposed to this disease. So similarly, chanting the holy name of Krishna vaccinates us against the lower qualities of our nature. The anger, the lust, the greed, the envy. And the vaccination is especially effective if we keep taking booster doses all day long. So the best method I know to answer your question is to learn to get up early, which means learning to go to bed early. The morning hours are very precious for spiritual practices. So, as it says in Bhagavad Gita, Yanisha sarva bhutanam yasyam jagrati bhutani. Yanisha sarva bhutanam yasyam jagrati samyami. What is a time of awakening for the average person is bedtime for the wise. And the time of going to sleep for the average person is a time of awakening for the wise person. So we can insulate ourselves from all of the material pressures of life by practicing this chanting, especially early in the day, and then carrying it with us through the day. Is that a mother who recognizes her child? I was sitting with a couple of my friends once in a room, and on the other side of the wall there was a baby crying. And my friend said to his friend, he said, if it's yours, it's noise. If it's mine, it's music. So this is the beautiful practicality of Lord Chaitanya's movement. It just means that if you start chanting, you are going to go against the grain a little bit. You might have some family members saying, what is wrong with you? You might have some friends saying, you're not the same as you used to be. You never go out to the bar with us anymore. You might have some friends at work wonder, like, how have you become so calm all of a sudden? So there are changes that take place from the chanting, but it's very impactful, and hey, it's free, it's legal, it has a karma back guarantee. If you try it, you don't like it, you can go back to just what you were doing. But the benefit you'll get from it is so nice that we predict, if you try chanting this mantra, you'll never want to stop. All right, anything else? Yes.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, thank you for the class. For someone who's not, my background is not Bengal or Indian, I really appreciated the English translation, because usually when we chant, it's in Sanskrit, or in this case Bengali, but it's rarely accompanied by the English version, the translation immediately after. Sometimes the translation is there, but it's not sung. So I really appreciated that.
Thank you. You just gave meaning to my entire life. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
That's exactly, you know, I've been singing some of these bhajans for 50 years with a vague idea of what they meant. And, you know, stupidly I thought, well, every Indian person knows what they mean. Now I understand, no, not every Indian person speaks Bengali. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. How about the rest of you? Did you find this helpful, having the English? Okay, good. We're going to do one more. Very appropriate for Toronto here. Chirichor Gopinath. Gopinath means the Lord of the Gopis, the Master of the Gopis. And Gopinath represents the most intimate form of Krishna. Madan Mohan is the initial form we approach, Sambandha. Govinda is the active form of service, Abhideya. But Gopinath is the goal, the prema, the ultimate purpose of worshiping Krishna. So in this rather intense bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur turns to Gopinath and reveals the heart of a seeker. So there's so many verses here, we're not going to include the Bengali. We're just going to do the English. And we're not going to do it responsively, we're going to do it in unison. Is that all right? Well, I'll just sing these together once we get the melody going. Okay? This is for me. Okay, whatever, the regular. All right, after we finish this also, I'm going to ask everybody to please pick out a verse that especially touched you and share it with everyone, all right? Gopinath, would you be so kind to hear me? Desires make my mind wicked all the time with not one virtue to endear me. Gopinath, I have no one else to turn to. Your two soft lotus feet are my sanctuary. Please allow me just to serve you, Gopinath. What can ever purify me? Devotion has escaped my manipulations. Worldly life now horrifies me, Gopinath. Everything here is your Maya. I have no potency. Wisdom flies from me as my body falls to desires. Gopinath, may I ever stay at your feet through unrelieved weepings. Comes this sinner pleading for your precious gift of mercy, Gopinath. You can surely sanction anything. Your power and deliver all the worst offenders. What offender can exceed me, Gopinath? You are like a sea of mercy. This world is very cruel, yet you've come for us fools fools as your pastimes keep in peace. Sing, Gopinath. My corruption has no measure, while demons, beasts, and fiends have attained to your feet. Bhakti Vinoda remains here. Please remove this worldly agony. My ignorance just hurts. How can I endure the births and death strung out before me? Gopinath. I'm a servant of desire, intense lusty craving in my heart awaken, squeezing tight the noose of Maya. Gopinath. When will I wake from this ignorance, this lust my enemy? I at last will leave and fix my heart for your appearance. Gopinath. I am meant to serve as your son. I have forsaken you, worshipping illusion. I forgot my rightful fortune. Gopinath. You of course understand everything. You duly reprimand your indentured man now. Kindly place him at your lotus feet. Gopinath. Is this truly your decision on seeing me a verse? Will you now desert me without one drop of compassion? Gopinath. Such a stupid fool have I been. What truly benefits I have yet to witness. Now I live in this condition. Gopinath. As to you no one is wiser. A fool like me is blessed by your simple glances. Do not think me an outsider. Gopinath. This entangling world defeats me. If you show causeless grace, if you tolerate me, your compassion will release me. Gopinath. Maya's dangers now embrace me. I look around myself, children, wife, and wealth all prove my lustful life is wasted. Gopinath. How my crazy mind disturbs me. It won't trust anyone. Uselessly it goes on in the dark pit of the worldly. Gopinath. My defeat needs no explaining. All I have tried to do is completely useless. You're the only hope remaining. Gopinath. How can I now make advancement? My senses are so strong. My mind goes along and will not give up its attachment. Gopinath. And after sitting in my heart's court, you make my mind subdued, and kindly take me to you, free me from the guilty dangers. Gopinath. You can see that I am helpless. Your senses are controlled. Please control mine also. Save me from this dark existence. Gopinath. My essence is now on my throat. The sword of your mercy can alone release me. Make a servant of Vinoda. Gopinath. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Gopinath. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. So, any reflections from these verses? Anyone have a favorite they'd like to share? Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. That was wonderful. There was a verse where it said that through this weeping comes the sinner. So that was very beautiful. It was like external face and internal face. It was amazing. There was another verse which said that through my wife, children and wealth, the lustful life is wasted. So I did not quite understand that.
Let me comment on that in a moment.
Yeah.
First, your first one, yes, through this, the sinner weeping comes pleading for your precious gift of mercy. In Christianity, they call this world the vale of tears, the valley of tears. And no matter how well our life is going, we will inevitably encounter some kind of disaster, some kind of depression, some kind of loss and sadness. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, at that point, our only hope is to just call out to Lord Krishna for his mercy. Even when life is completely hopeless and lost. This other, I thought somebody might ask about this. So, the idea of having a family, a career, is not in and of itself wrong. But where we fall short is if we fail to offer this to Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I've done all these things, I've met all my responsibilities, but what is my spiritual growth from it? And therefore now, having neglected Krishna, I'm turning to Krishna. Why have I done all these things? Because of my desires, because I thought they would make me happy. But now I'm seeing that they have not made me happy. That does not mean, however, that we cannot have a family and career. We just do it for Krishna. Have you read Bhagavad Gita?
Yes.
So what is the whole Bhagavad Gita about? First, Arjuna says, I don't want to fight. But then when Krishna says, no, you'll be doing this for me, then he's ready to fight by the end, right? Yes. So in the same way, Bhaktivinoda is saying like this. I see I've done all these things, but it's just been a waste of time because I have not connected with Gopinath. Okay.
Maharaj, I also have a follow-up question. Bhakti Vinod Thakur is so realized. So how is he saying all these things?
Yes, this is the one way to appreciate Bhaktivinoda's bhajan, and there are many like this, where he is speaking in a self-deprecating way. And we may look at it and say, well, he's speaking for our benefit to show us how we should feel. He himself is a great exalted person. But we may also look at it and say, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is self-realized, and he sees these things within himself. Self-realization does not necessarily mean we all of a sudden become very flawless. It means that we realize where we really are, our own flaws, you see. So I like looking at it that way, that these are honest expressions of what he's seeing, no longer being affected by them, but seeing in himself nonetheless these habits of desire and worldliness. Is that all right? So either way that you like, you can see.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice question. Yes, Devansh?
I like the part where it was saying, will you leave me even without one drop of compassion? I don't remember the whole verse, but...
Yes, these moods shift, don't they? In one sense, he's pleading for Krishna's mercy. And then he's saying, Krishna, what's up? Just because you see that I don't have a lot of taste for bhakti, are you now like averse to me? Or rather, are you just like heartless? You see I'm trying, but I can't make it. Now you just don't care about me, you're not helping me? So all of us feel like that sometimes, isn't it? When we feel see reverses in our life. God, have you forsaken me? I'm being such a good boy, I'm being such a good girl, and this is what you give me? You see, so he's expressing something that I think all of us feel from time to time.
And also the part where he says, your senses are controlled. Can you control mine as well?
Yes. Rishikesha is the word in the Bengali original. Your senses are controlled. Please control mine also. This is also so very important that we cannot approach Krishna because of our own grit and determination and effort and qualifications. We can only approach Krishna in a mood of helplessness and humility and dependence. Krishna, you can make it possible for me to progress. I cannot do it on my own. If we were capable of delivering ourselves from attachment, from worldliness, we would have done it a long time ago. But Krishna consciousness means that we turn to Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they say, turn to Krishna, just try to approach Krishna, and Krishna from within will help you deal with any imperfections in your life. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya shravana kirtanam. The very practice of hearing and chanting about Krishna purifies the heart, much more so than we could possibly do by ourselves. All we need to do then is exert the energy to hear and chant. Okay. Thank you. Anything else? Yes. Madhavilat.
Hare Krishna. I really like the part when it said that there's no one more wiser than him, and don't ever consider me as an outsider.
Yeah.
If you could just elaborate a little on
Yes. Yes. No one else other than you, no one is wiser. Please don't think me an outsider. In other words, we want to be intimate with Krishna. We want to be accepted by Krishna. In the earlier verse he said, you of course understand everything. So he sees where we are. He sees the bad habits or the habitual mental disturbances that we go through. He sees the things that interfere with our connection with him because he's constantly present before us every moment. We're never separated from Krishna, but how often do we see? And so Bhaktivinoda is saying, recognizing this, that I am habitually turning away from you, please don't think of me as an outsider. It's not that I don't want to be with you, I just don't have the ability to focus on you completely. You can give me that ability, and in the meantime, don't think me not caring for you and not wanting to be with you. Again, letting Krishna be the active principle. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. He makes this deal. It really is a transaction. For one who constantly thinks of me and worships me in devotion, I give the intelligence by which they can come to me. So we can give our devotion, and then we have to depend on Krishna for the intelligence. All right, thank you. Anything else? Yes. Your name again? Nina.
I felt emotionally exposed when the line said that, may I ever stay at your feet? Through unrelieved weeping comes the sinner pleading for the gift of your mercy. That's how I feel.
Again, say a little bit louder into the mic so everybody could hear.
Oh, right.
It's very emotional.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It does that to me too. It's amazing. Yes, very powerful.
I really liked the lines when, oh my God.
Sorry.
It said, may I ever stay at your feet? Through unrelieved weeping comes the sinner pleading for the gift of your mercy.
Yes. May I ever stay at your feet. Thank you for that unrelieved weeping. It's very nice. It's so powerful because that when we're feeling very confident in this world, then we're in trouble. When we realize that we are helpless in this world, and we deeply realize that, it is emotionally impactful. All my life I've been thinking of myself in one way. All my life I've been thinking that I could do this, this, and this. Now I see I am unable to do anything without the grace of Krishna. People see that as a weak thing, as a vulnerable thing. No, I'm strong, I can do it on my own. But the humility of the devotee is the actual strength. The example is given of the oak tree and the grass. So they're having an argument. Actually, the oak tree was criticizing the grass. You're so weak, it just blows a little bit and you bend over, you're so weak. But then a tornado came through and the grass was bending, but the oak tree fell over. So in the same way, devotees, we're vulnerable. I don't have the ability to deal with this world, but Krishna can help me. So that's strength in humility. Not in our own strength, but in Krishna's strength. Thank you very much for sharing that. Very nice. Anything else? Yes, I vote.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my fallen obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet.
Hare Krishna, if you call me Maharaj, my wife will divorce me, but please go ahead.
In ISKCON we learn art of crying, art of begging, art of depending on Krishna, art of dying. But we shouldn't cry in front of the deities or the devotees. So can you explain the art of crying a little bit?
We shouldn't cry in front of the deities. What is the source of that injunction? Nectar of Devotion, or where have you read that?
Yeah, Nectar of Devotion.
Right. What this means is that we should not cry for our material things in front of the deity. In the same book, it is said that one should have so much desire to do a particular type of service that one can shed tears for it. So that it depends on the quality or the reason for the tears. In this world, there are so many things that bring us to tears, is it not? Yes, divorces, heartbreaks, broken toes. It goes on and on. So the idea is that we don't come to Krishna just in a state of material lamentation and moroseness. Spiritual lamentation and material lamentation are two different things. Spiritual lamentation means, I've been such a fool. I have wasted my life. What have I been doing all these years, all this time? Trying to enjoy that which is not enjoyable. Like a dog chasing its tail. I've just been wasting my time. That's spiritual lamentation. If we actually feel that and feel it deeply, it can bring us to tears. Those tears are welcome before the deities. So I hope that distinction is all right. You see, the idea is to come before the Lord in a meditative state, not an emotional state. Like we're just distraught, and therefore we're coming to Krishna. Of course, people come to Krishna out of distress, but there should be some contemplation before going to the deity. And that's the reason for that injunction. But as many things in the Nectar of Devotion, it is a detail. It said, akama sarvakama va moksha kama udarati. Whatever our state of mind, still, it's okay to go to Krishna. If we cannot change our state of mind and make ourselves more sober, we should go to Krishna anyway. It's a detail to say one should not cry for material things in front of the deity, okay? Krishna is not this, he's not this judgmental God that I grew up with in Christianity. My idea of God, before I read Bhagavad Gita, he's the universal judge. He sits there on a throne all day. Heaven, hell, hell, heaven, heaven, hell. Very judgmental. And we are all supposed to live in fear of being sent to hell so that we can go to heaven. And out of that fear, we do whatever God wants. But that isn't love, is it? Fear and love are not compatible. It's Machiavellian philosophy to say it's better to be feared than loved. And some politicians think that way. But not in spiritual life, not in our real life as human beings. It is better to love and be loved than to fear or be feared. So in Christianity, I learned how to love the things of the world and fear God. As long as you fear God, it's okay. You can just have a life of enjoyment, as long as you fear God. But in Krishna consciousness, I learned to love God and fear the things of the world. All right. Anything else? Yes, sir. There's way in the back here. Can you stand up, sir, so we can hear you a little better? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I have been learning Advaita Vedanta for quite a long bit of time. So, and I'm also initiated in Ramakrishna order. So my question is, what's the difference, the basic difference between the Advaita Vedanta and the Bhakti Vedanta?
Very good question. The basic difference is that in a poem like this, the devotee is praying to connect with God. Advaita philosophy teaches that, in essence, the devotee is God. Right? So, yeah, what is that? What is that Advaita mantra? Tattvamasi. Tattvamasi. You are that. So the Advaita interpretation is that you are God. The Vaishnava interpretation is that this is a prayer to Krishna. You are that supreme. Not me. You are that supreme. So that's the difference in a nutshell. It said, if to be God is your ambition, why should God help his own competition? So we approach Krishna in this mood of humility and surrender. And this is the duality of Madhvacharya, the two. There's the supreme and the individual soul. They're actually one in quality, but different in quantity. Just like a drop of ocean water is the same quality of the whole ocean, but you cannot float an aircraft carrier in a drop. Okay? Very good question. Thank you for asking that. All right, so we'll call it a class. Oh, we have one more? He was either waving at his child or his child had a question. I'm not sure which it is. Hare Krishna.
Sorry. It was such a nice presentation, and we all can resonate with the mood in the Bhajan Gopinath, given that our deities are Shri Radha Kirchur Gopinath. And talking about Kirchur Gopinath, the altars will open again at 8 p.m. Before that, if you would like to get your books signed, Kalakanta Prabhu will be just right here in the hallway to sign the books. And we'll be having Kirtan. After Shayan Arti, we'll be serving Prasadam. So please stay back. Thank you for joining. And please come tomorrow for Sunday feast starting at 5 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. The books are available by donation. Anyone who would like them, please take them. Thank you for what you.
And sorry, I missed one information. Books are just by donation. Anything from $1 to $1 million is just fine. So please come and take a copy and get it signed. Prabhu, can you? मैं पूछना? Can you ask him?
Oh, it's missing two. It's missing two strings. Mridanga? Anybody? Who is? It's missing some strings. Missing some strings. Yeah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo bolo Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.